Hey, what's up guys? Shuckle King here, bringing you my Week 8 Team Builder in battle for Eon World Trophy versus Automatthic. He's probably one of the biggest influential draft league players out there, I would say, just because of how much he's developed his draft league website. It's definitely the best place to have league information and statistics up there, so make sure you check out his stuff for sure, his Patreon, and his link will be below in the description, so make sure you check him out. And he is fighting for a playoff spot, as I am too right now. There's only 2 playoff seeds sealed at this point. Merrill at John Jr. John Jr. is already 5-3, and enough differential that not enough people can pass him. And Merrill is 6-1, so even if he loses, he'll still be in decent shape with 6 wins. If he wins his last game, he'll be guaranteed number 1 seed. I could lose out on playoffs. The worst case scenario for me would be 5-3 and a +7 differential, which is like if I lose 6-0 to Automatthic, and I could drop out of the playoff race depending on how other people do. So I have to try to make sure I win this game. If I win this game and I win by more than 1 differential point than Vespis does, then I clinch a top 2 seed, which gives me a bye, which will be nice. Only 2 wins for a championship instead of 3. If I win and Moralt loses, I also clinch a top 2 seed as long as both their games are not 1-0. Then we'd be absolutely tied, and I don't know how that tiebreaker would work out. Automatthic is 4-3. He can make playoffs if he loses, but it would be pretty tough for him because there's 2 other teams that are also 4-3, so they would both have to lose. Though Automatthic does have the highest differential out of the 3 of them for now. So if he wins, he basically makes it. So he's going to definitely want to try all out to win this game for sure. But I also want to win to make sure I could get a bye and make sure I actually make playoffs. If I lose by only a couple differential points, then I should be pretty set. But I do want to get that top 2 seed for sure. His team is pretty annoying with U-turn and Volt Switch spam. I do have Doug Trio and Iron Barb's Ferrothorn to kind of deter this, but it's going to be an annoying matchup for sure. So his team from most to least threatening is first Greninja. It's pretty annoying. It's a Z-move user. It outspeeds everything on my team. It outspeeds the Doug Trio, and it does have priority anyway, even I didn't want to bring like a Scarf Doug Trio. And he has dark coverage, so Mew and Mega Latios, my 2 best mons, get hurt pretty badly, so that's going to be annoying. Tapu Koko, very strong, doesn't have Z-move access, so I'm very happy about that. I don't know if you'd bring Z-move access anyway with this matchup, just because Doug Trio and Ferrothorn are pretty reliable answers to Koko. I also have Mega Latios. That could take on Dazzling Gleams. Pretty okay. Mega Scizor forces me to run a lot of fire coverage, even if I don't really want to, which is pretty annoying, and it shuts down my dual stab Mega Latios set, potentially. Next, Gliscor. Ground types are annoying for my team, as I said before. I have Arceus and Mega Latios, which are both pretty good answers to Gliscor, though Arceus can't OHKO unless I'm like special attacking invested with Hidden Power Ice. But Mega Latios can handle Gliscor really no problems. But outside of that, it's going to be annoying. And Koko, Scizor, Gliscor has been a combo brought every game by Automatthic, and I really don't see any reason for him to not bring those 3 plus the Greninja in this matchup. I'm basically guaranteeing those 4 come, and I'm like very certain these next 2 mons are coming, which are probably in a tier below in terms of threatening, but I imagine they're going to come, which is Gengar. I almost guarantee this mon coming too. It is a ghost type that'll have speed time in Mega Latios and outspeed my Mew, so it's going to be hitting really hard with Life Orb. I have Ferrothorn that could handle it, but Life Orb Focus Blast is going to hurt a lot. DNC, which can take on moves unless he has steel coverage. I'm not too worried if I have a special defensive DNC. And Drapion handles Gengar, though 2 Focus Blasts from Life Orb will kill me, and he could also have Will-O-Wisp, which would be annoying. So I really, really expect those 5. The 6th member I would expect to be Diggersby, again, just because ground types are annoying my team, and Diggersby is a super strong ground type. It's slower than Gliscor and doesn't have rocks, doesn't have much versatility. A Choice Band set would be absolutely terrifying, though, and Choice Scarf would still hit really hard. And hopefully he's not an agility set, which I have answers for, but would do pretty good damage against my team. Again, really expect those top 6 to come. These next 5 I really don't expect. Almamoli hasn't brought this season. It's bulky and can be annoying, but don't really see it coming. Rotom Heat, he's brought to almost every game, and he certainly could bring it as like that and Gliscor. Coco can also run Defog, but Gliscor or Rotom Heat are more reliable Defog users. I guess Mega Scizor too, but I don't see that running Defog either. So if he wants to bring a Defog mon, I would expect it to be Rotom Heat or Gliscor. So if he already has Gliscor, there's no really need to have a Rotom Heat on the team, but it is a fire type to handle the Ferrothorn, so that is an option there. Gothorita traps. I just got to make sure I have, I would say at least 5 out of my 6 mons. Make sure, have ways to make sure it doesn't get set up on. If I have one mon that's a little bit passive, then so be it. But otherwise, Gothorita is not that strong. Dredagon, don't really see coming. Pissimian, don't really see coming. So my plan, if the faster threats are down, Manaphy wins. I feel like I try to get Manaphy sweeps every game. Last week worked for that just because Mega Latios got crit. But the faster threats to Manaphy would be the Greninja, Coco, and Gengar. Coco, obviously a big problem for that. Greninja, I could beat 1v1. Gengar would be a little bit more problematic as well. But I have better answers for Coco and Gengar than I do for Greninja on my team. Mega Latios is also really good with Psychic plus Dragon coverage. The only problem there is Mega Scizor. So I'd either have a lot of fire coverage on my team or run Hidden Power Fire on my Mega Latios. But he would expect Mega Latios to have Hidden Power Fire. So first Pokemon I have on my team, as I said before, trying to get the sweep of Manaphy. Tailglow, Earth, Energy Ball, Hidden Power Fire. I wasn't really sure about the item on this set. I could have ran Leftovers or I Pop a Berry, but I figured, hey, let's get a Salad Berry, maybe try to sweep this game. The 8 special attack at speed seem like pretty straightforward, but the speed will allow me to add speed Rotom Heat by 1 point, which is pretty clutch. And if Rotom Heat goes for like a Thunderbolt on me, it will bring me into Salad Berry range, which will be clutch, and then I could set up a Tailglow and be in good shape to hopefully sweep, especially because Greninja's priority won't hurt me much, Mega Scizor's priority won't hurt me that much. Diggersby priority will hurt me enough if I get into Salad Berry range, but other than that, I should be in decent shape if I can get a +3 Tailglow with a +1 speed up with Manaphy. He could also be Choice Scarf Gengar to Revenge Kill, but other than that, I don't really see any other Scarfers that would be able to outscore the Manaphy. Like, I also outspeed Pissimian, which could be a Scarfer. I outspeed Diggersby, which could be a Scarfer if I get my Salad Berry up. Energy Ball for the Almamole and Greninja. Hidden Power Fire for the Mega Scizor. It's really like a +3 Surf kills Mega Scizor, but in the off chance that Scizor is like a Sword Stand set, I want a way to immediately hurt it pretty hard, even though I do have a lot of fire coverage on my team. I don't have anything for the Dredagon, but don't really see it coming. Hopefully I don't regret that. Next Pokemon I have is Mega Latios, Calm Mind, Psychic, Dracometer, Recover. Now I don't have fire coverage on this set, so I'm really relying on a lot of things on my team to hurt Mega Scizor, but at the same time, Dracometer does 50% to Mega Scizor, special defensive Mega Scizor if I'm at +1. So that just shows how strong Mega Latios is. It's crazy how I got in the second round. And it's probably going to be MVP of the league. But anyway, EV spread seems interesting. Max HP, max special attack, basically. A little bit of speed just allows me to add speed Adamant Diggersby. So like even Jolly Diggersby outspeeds me, which seems weird, but I don't really expect any of his lower speed mons to bring speed unless they're Choice Scarfed. Like Diggersby, Gliscor, I don't imagine it's going to bring much speed. Rotom Heat, it could. I honestly don't care about that, though, just because its dual stats won't do anything to me. Pissimian, don't expect it, and not really threatened by it either. Mega Scizor, don't really expect speed on that. So I'm okay with just running a ton of bulk. It allows me to take hits like Tapu Koko's Dazzling Gleam that's under half if I'm at +1 special defense, which is pretty clutch, and I can live Life Orb, Gengar, Shadow Balls at +1 special defense as well. So hopefully I could sweep potentially, or this could be a mid-game breaker for my Manaphy to set up at the end of the game. Next, Ferrothorn, because I do need something for Tapu Koko. I do have a Doug Trio, but it's not terribly reliable, especially because Koko could easily run Shucka and kill me, or can run a Shed Shell and not worry about me. So hopefully I can make his Coco a little bit less effective, assuming that he thinks I'll bring the Doug Trio in his matchup. So special defensive, I'm not worried about hidden power fire. That shouldn't be too KOing me. And I have leftover special lead seed to recover HP, even if he is hidden power fire Coco. Power Whip just does overall decent amount of damage, like to the Coco. And Diggersby knockoff will do a ton of damage to the Gengar if it's a Will-O-Wisp or Focus Blast set, and obviously remove items, especially like a EVLA from Gothorita, and I could knock off his lead seed that, so I shouldn't be able to lose to like a setup Rest Calm Mind Gothorita set. And rocks, obviously, because rocks. And a lot of these mons are relying on rocks to get specific KOs. So I want another special attacking switch in on this team. He has a lot of... I'm more threatened by the special attackers and the physical attackers on his team, like Coco, Gengar, Greninja, Rotom Heat. I'm more worried about them as special attackers than like Mega Scizor, who I expect to be more defensive or it has to be a setup set. Pissimi I'm not worried about. Diggersby I'm worried about, but I feel like I have offensive answers for that. And Gliscor I'm not too worried about offensively. It's going to be pretty annoying bulky. So I want another special attacking switch in, so I did go with Andre, the Hariyama. I don't think I've brought Hariyama, maybe since week 1 even. So another chance for it to shine. It can take 2 max attack bullet punches from Mega Scizor with the defense investment after rocks. I also have 2 Coco Dazzling Gleams or Life Orb Gengar hits all after rocks. So this is pretty clutch of Hariyama. Earthquake will kill after rocks the Coco and the Gengar. Knockoff will also do a lot to the Gengar. Fire punches to Mega Scizor, and close combat for overall damage on the team. Don't have Ice Punch, so I don't hit the Gliscor that hard, but I have other ways to hit it, so I'm not as threatened about that. I also have Guts over Thick Fat, because Mega Latios should be my Rotom Heat answer, because I resist both stabs, so I want some type of status absorber on the team, because I could, if he brings Almamolin as a Scald set and I burn, then I get a lot more powerful. Rotom Heat could also be like a Will-O-Wisp set, so I could predict that as well, instead of going into Mega Latios. Next Pokemon I want a Revenge Killer for Coco, or even like the Gengar if I know it's not Scarfed, or a Scarf Diggersby. So I'm going to go with my reliable Toy Scarf on my team, which is Darmanitan. Flare Blitz, U-Turn, Rock Slide, Fire Punch. Flare Blitz still 2 KOs the Gliscor, so that's not that reliable of a switch-in. The only switch-ins would be El Mamola. Could take hits well, don't really see it coming. Dredagon, don't really see it coming. Rotom Heat doesn't live too. Flare Blitz is after rocks, which is just crazy. And also, Darmanitan is a nice pivot into Mega Scizor. I do have to watch out for Superpower, though, and Ferrothorn also has to watch out for Superpower. It's a pretty straightforward Darmanitan. I speed tie with the Gliscor if he's max speed for some reason, so no reason to not do that, though. Gliscor is not going to be Choice Scarf, so maybe I can afford a little bit less speed, but I'll probably keep it as is, just in that off chance. Because I don't think the bulk's going to make much of a difference. Maybe I could live more reliably with Flare Blitz, so I might change the spread a little bit to give myself more HP. So my last mon is going to be Mew, because I'm going to be bringing Mew to every match, and probably Manaphy and Mega Latios to every match. Mew is 100% coming to every match. So I just threw it as a 6 mon, figure out what my team is kind of weak to, or what I can take advantage of, and go for it. So I'm running this set with Mew. Expert Belt, Sucker Punch will kill the Gengar after rocks. Assuming he's max special attack, max speed to a speed tie Mega Latios, he shouldn't really expect Sucker Punch to come. And Shadow Ball should be killing me if he's a Life Orb set. Or Scarf would probably be doing a ton of damage, which would probably be worth. Ice Punch is there for the Gliscor, and I do outspeed Gliscor with my speed. I also do a lot to Diggersby, though I don't kill it. I considered Will-O-Wisp for the Diggersby, but I couldn't really fit him on this set. Gunk Shot hits the Rotom Heat and does a ton of damage to Coco. Also hits Greninja, so that's why I went with Gunk Shot over Zen Headbutt. And Fire Punch is there to hit the Mega Scizor. So, honestly, I'm not sure how this team's going to do. A little bit of wonky sets for sure, but hopefully it works out. So let's get right into the game.
Alright, here we are for the battle against Automatthic. As we can see here, he brings a completely different team than what I expected. Did not see the Pessimian or the Dreadagon coming, so it definitely threw me for a loop, but I'm definitely okay with no Gengar on the field, and no Gliscor, which I'm very surprised about. So that means the Stealth Rocker has to be Dreadagon if he brings one, and I expect he would bring one. Otherwise, Darmanitan really goes in. Manaphy is nice if I can weaken the Koko. Mega Latios is good, though I do have to watch out for Mega Scizor because I don't have Hidden Power Fire. He does have a lot of U-turn potential on his team, so I have to watch out for that. So I'm going to lead with my Mega Latios in this matchup just because it matches up pretty well with everything, I guess, except for the Mega Scizor. Because if he leads Greninja, then I can go into Ferrothorn with really no issue. So I'm going to leave with my Mega Latios and hopefully get a big hit off right away, but he does leave with the Scizor, which is pretty problematic for me. I can't stay in because Hidden Power wouldn't be killing this Mega Scizor, and he could do a lot of damage in return with the U-turn. So I'm going to go to my Hariyama as opposed to my Ferrothorn. Both could have taken a hit, but Ferrothorn needs to take more special hits from like the Koko and the Greninja. But he does go into Greninja here as I get a nice switch in with my Hariyama because he has no close combat switch ins right now because Koko is not going to be taking him that well. So here it turns out that damage shows that he is not physically invested, which I'm not surprised about at all. And he brings in this Dreadagon. I have a little bit less, I think I have like a 25% chance to 2-hit KO his Dreadagon, but I actually do over half, so I must have gotten a pretty high roll. And you see here he has Rocky Helmet with Rough Skin. So I'm going to just go for the knockout right here. He is a little bit faster, so he's probably not max HP max defense, where he just got a speed tie roll. So I'm going to kill this Dreadagon here in exchange for rocks, but I actually don't kill. And that puts me in a pretty crappy position because I got a min roll or a max roll. Now, I found out at the end of the game that his Dreadagon was not max HP max defense. It was almost that. So it was a 50-50 chance to knock him out. So I have to lose my Hariyama there, which is pretty bad just because that's my primary, one of my two answers for Koko plus Greninja. So now that's looking pretty problematic at this point. So Dreadagon is able to get the kill and get the rocks up, and I'm not able to kill the Dreadagon in return because I thought I would have based on the damage I did from my first close combat. So that really puts me far behind. My switch into this aren't great. If I go into Mew, then I'm taking Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet damage and rocks. So that's going to bring me down to like 60% and bring me down to under half by the time I come in a second time. Mega Latios could come in, but then he gets a free switch into Mega Scizor right after that, and I'm put into like a U-turn volt switching bad situation at that point. Ferrothorn can come in, but he has Fire Punch, and Fire Punch is going to do a little over half, assuming that he has no attack investment, and I could get rocks up in exchange for that, or you could just go for Earthquake Cheeky and then get a Fire Punch up, predicting me to go for rocks right away, which would probably be a good play on his part, but that would also put me in a bad position because then I can't take a Skull plus a Hidden Power Fire from Greninja, or a Thunderbolt plus a Hidden Power Fire from my Koko if I do that. So that's not a great option either, though getting rocks up is nice. Darmanitan, not a great answer because I'll be taking either U-turn or Flare Blitz, taking the same recoil as Mew would be taking. And Manaphy wants to stay as healthy as possible to try to get a sweep up, especially because the Koko is such a free switch in after this point. But I am going to go into Manaphy because I am at least not taking any recoil damage afterwards. And I will be able to kill this Dreadagon. He really doesn't have a great switch in the Manaphy either. He just has a great way to revenge kill me, which is the Tapu Koko. So I'm able to kill off this Dreadagon here, which is fine. But again, I lose my Hariyama, which isn't great. And he brings in a Koko, and I don't really have any switch into this because he can Volt Switch for no consequence at this point. And I don't have a ground type, so I have to go into my Ferrothorn because my Hariyama is down. And he's going to be going for the Volt Switch here. So, again, not in that great of a position. He has a lot of switch-ins. At this point, he could go into Pessimian, get a close combat off, or go into Diggersby and kill me with a Fire Punch. And he decides to go into Diggersby and try to kill me with a Fire Punch. Now, I don't really have a switch into this either at this point. Mew can't take hits. Megaladios could take a fire punch if I predict him to go for it. He's probably not going for an earthquake, so I could make an aggressive switch into my Megaladios, but if I lose that, then it's not looking that great because Megaladios does really well against his team besides the Mega Scizor. But if I can get any chip on the Scizor, he can't really use that as a switch in just because I could easily have Hidden Power Fire and kill the Scizor off. So you can't really risk that. So I'm going to stay in with my Ferrothorn and kill with a Power Whip. Hopefully he over-predicts and goes for a U-turn. But he makes the right play and goes for a Fire Punch. That's another reason why I couldn't go into Latios, because he could have easily just U-turned and he would have done a crap ton of damage. He wouldn't have killed just based on my bulk, but maybe even put me in range to where I would have died after rocks. So I'm going to go with my Mega Latios here. Again, on the pretty far back foot because I don't have a special defensive switch in to either the Coco or the Greninja at this point because both of those mons are down. So I'm going to go for the Calm Mind here, predicting him to go into the Mega Scizor. Predicting me to go for the Draco Meteor, because at that point he can't go, he can't stay in with a Scizor because the +1 Hidden Power Fire would kill any type of Mega Scizor. So I'm going to go for the Calm Mind right here. As we can see here, he does actually stay in with his Diggersby, so that's not great. I'm going to get a Calm Mind off. Hopefully, actually any hit would probably put me in a pretty low range at this point. And he does stay in. So I guess the thought process was that Manaphy and Darmanitan could revenge kill this Diggersby anyway. So he decided to stay in. And at this point, I felt like I needed to make a play because I was pretty far behind because of the Harryana not able to kill the Dredagon. So I was forced to basically lose both my special defensive switch-ins to those mons of Coco plus Greninja. So he is able to kill my Mega Latios here with a quick attack. I found out based on return damage that he's Silksarf Adamant, which is a pretty cool set there. So I have to go into Darmanitan. I expect him to have a lot of bulk just because he doesn't need a lot of speed on against my team, and that's why and I figure that based on the damage or that I went for the Calm Mind before the Diggersby because I don't have much speed either. That he is more of a bulky spread. I found out that he really wasn't that bulky, just an Adamant spread, just outspeeding no speed Mew, which is definitely a fair play. So he goes for the quick attack and gets a max roll, which does make a difference because after my hit with Darmanitan, I will not be able to live this Flare Blitz. If he didn't get a max roll, then I would have been able to live the Flare Blitz. And then at that point, he'd either have to go into Greninja and Water Shuriken or go into Mega Scizor and Bullet Punch me, or just let something else die on his team as I go for a Flare Blitz, which he could have, but because that didn't happen, that's not a possibility. And Greninja, furthermore, didn't have Water Shuriken, so I feel like he would have had to go on to a Mega Scizor and Bullet Punched. And then at that point, I feel like I had a chance to win with either Manaphy or the Mew. But again, because he got that max roll, I wasn't able to get a free switch in. And he brings in the Scizor here. So at this point, I know I'm not going to be able to kill with Fire Punch. So that was like 85 to 99% max. So maybe rocks would have been helpful. Maybe they wouldn't have been helpful depending on what the Mega Scizor spread here is. So I'm going to go for the Fire Punch. And actually, rocks probably would have helped me, would have killed this Mega Scizor, which probably still wouldn't have got me to win, but it would have given me maybe an avenue. Again, I don't know if rocks would have played at that point because my Ferrothorn would have been so low, this Coco or Greninja would have been able to revenge kill me. So that was pretty unfortunate. Though a Hidden Power Fire outright wouldn't have killed my Ferrothorn from either the Greninja or the Coco. So maybe that was the play, but I feel like at that point I was still pretty far back from trying to win this game. So I'm going to go into Manaphy here, set up a Tail Glow. Hopefully it's not a max special attack for some reason, but he goes for the Volt Switch, and he is max special attack, and he's able to take out my my Manaphy. So good game, Vespus. It was definitely unfortunate with the Hariyama Dredagon play, because if I didn't get like a max roll earlier on, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to 2-hit KO the Dredagon, then I wouldn't have stayed in and gone for a second close combat. Because at that point, a Hariyama could have easily taken a Dazzling Gleam or any hit from the Greninja after the first close combat, and even after around the Stealth Rocks. So I probably would have gone into tough to say. Probably would have gone into either the Mega Latios for offensive pressure or the Ferrothorn to get up rocks, even though I would have taken a Fire Punch at that point. But not getting that to a KO on the Dredagon really put me far back, and I basically had to sack off my my Ferrothorn to the Diggersby, which wasn't ideal. So, very unfortunate match at that point, but it definitely happened, and Auto definitely got a good win out of it. We're still in the playoffs. I got 2 kills, which was all I needed to 100% guarantee me to make playoffs. I was in great position to make playoffs, even if I got 6-0'd by Auto, but it wouldn't have been 100% technically. So I am 100% in the playoffs because I only lost 4-0. So it is me, John Jr., Merrill, and Auto are automatically in the playoffs at this point, and then it relies on either Frosted or Onesie Bennett or Leo or Vebsis. 2 of those 4 are going to be making playoffs. So it's going to be an exciting race. I know I won't be able to make a top 2 seed from this, which is unfortunate, but okay. I do have other plans against Auto. I might have not brought my A team. I usually do in these matches, but we'll see. But until next time, later, guys.